Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
The other day when I was streaming at youtube.com/retrograde amnesia, I think that works. I think we have that slug there, or username, whatever.
Initializing fakenet.
A functioning URL is youtube.com @retrograde amnesia.
Somebody said, hey, Chris, what are your favorite tactics games?
Chris, what are your favorite tactics games?
And I didn't really have a great answer. I just rattled off some. So I've thought about it for, let's say, 7 minutes and wrote down the 3 tactics games that popped into my head that I like the most besides Final Fantasy Tactics. Can I read them to you?
Of course, yeah. Use your words.
Okay, number 3, Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Recency bias there, Chris.
That's a year and a half.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're like 48, so what's a year and a half to a 48-year-old?
It's true. Number 2 is XCOM Enemy Unknown. There's no recency bias there. That was like 2011.
That was the first XCOM, not the DLC?
That was
Within Enemy Unknown?
Enemy Unknown was the first one that was the first modern one that was released.
That game had my favorite Idle Thumbs naming conventions for the characters. Do you remember what I believe Sean called his characters in that game, what he named them after?
No.
NFL quarterbacks for men and female pop stars for women.
Oh, that's great. It's really good. That's on there because I have not played XCOM 2, although it is currently downloaded on my Steam Deck, so maybe we'll play XCOM 2, War of the Chosen.
Chris, well, your third choice, Escape Firaxis, is Tractor Beam.
Yes. The number 1 game, I always say this is one of my favorite tactics games, is from Clay Entertainment, Invisible Ink.
Oh, wow. Nice
that
one.
game slaps, as they say.
So Tactics Ogre, not even placing up there.
Well, Eric, I've never beaten Tactics Ogre.
Yeah, but you had a story. You had a cool story.
That was Ogre Battle.
Oh. So Ogre Battle, not even placing
Ogre Battle, probably number 4 on there.
Okay.
I need to revisit Ogre Battle to determine one important fact.
Let us cling together, this person of lordly caliber.
No, March of the Black Queen. The question that I have that needs to be answered about Ogre Battle is it good?
Well, perhaps future voters of Retrograde Amnesia's Patreon seasons can...
No.
Not.
That game doesn't have enough to talk about.
Okay. That's strange. How do you figure out if it's good if you can't talk about it?
Well, you want to hear some hot sounds?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about classic JRPGs, where we discuss them chapter by chapter, beat by beat. My name is Chris, and I'm joined today by Eric. Hi.
Kick me in the ball, Banes.
What does the word Banes mean on its own? Like,
Vengeance? Or the call to action?
Banes with an S, or that's just Bane?
I was thinking Bane.
A Banes sounds like it's a place under a dock. I'm gonna go hide in the Banes.
You're thinking of water.
Well, like where the tide meets the beach.
The water, yeah. Where the tide meets the beach?
Yeah.
That's just the beach.
But but you go up under the dock and there's like a little place where people hide? That's the Banes. We're also joined tonight by the RealNet. Hello, RealNet. RealNet is a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the fake net or post-production AI companion, and the only one left who remembers 2011's Ikaruga-influenced Metroidvania called Outland.
Initializing fakenet.
Shifting between 2 worlds is an easier task to manage than shifting gears for either of you.
How do you feel about the genre convention shmup? I don't like saying it.
I like saying shoot 'em up better. I think shmup is like, you break anything down to its basic word structure to have fewer mouth actions.
But shmup feels like it takes more mouth effort.
Yeah, because you have to do SCHM, which is not usual. Like it's too many consonants in a row.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start calling them gradius-alikes.
Okay, I'll just do Castleoids.
I've recently come to learn about the push to remove Metroidvania from the lexicon and call the games
Finding Action or
Search
something?
Action.
Search Action.
Search Action games.
I do like Search Action. That does flow together pretty well.
Yeah, I do too. I like it a lot.
It pairs well with stylish action.
I heard Gersman talk about this, and he said that the genre of the game should not reference a game in the genre so that people that don't know about the genre would be able to know about the genre.
Well, I mean, I'll just keep playing Doom clones, I guess.
Yes.
Surely there's no better word for that.
My favorite Doom clone, Shadow Warrior. That game was so racist.
Build the engine. No. Eagrose Castle, that's where we're going. Music Dycedarg's theme plays, and Dycedarg, who did not die, is tucked in bed in the center of a room.
Does that mean he's on his deathbed because he's in the center of a room?
I think it's his dad's bed, right? It's the same bed, isn't it?
Oh,
Could be.
so.
Would you sleep in the bed your father died in?
No, I wouldn't. His sheets are purple. Were Balbane's sheets purple? I don't think so.
I don't know. And we'll never know. Ramza, Argath, and Delita are at his side, and I'm like, these are just common foot pads. Don't you have somebody better that could be here for you? Alma is at the foot of the bed. Dycedarg compliments Ramza on handling his duties well and tells him to leave the cleanup work to his men. Ramza did a good job. Dycedarg also asks Ramza not to worry about any of this shit as his wounds aren't that bad. But Ramza doesn't seem to care, instead asking about Tietra. Where is she? Dycedarg stares down the foot of his bed and responds, Zalbag will lead a full-scale assault on the brigade as soon as their garrison is found. Ramza lodges a protest, but Dycedarg interrupts him, telling Ramza the corpse brigade is pretty much wiped out and less than a score of them remains. Chris, how much is a score?
Is it 12?
I have no idea. I know what Abraham Lincoln said, but I don't know how that translates to actual numbers.
I don't want to know either.
Their leader yet eludes us, but time grows short for Wiegraf Fols. Wiegraf's last name, F-O-L-L-E-S, Folis.
I didn't get that. I just got Wiegraf.
Full name.
Mono-named Wiegraf.
So they're not sending anybody. Is Dycedarg, is that what he's saying, fuck it, or is he worried Tietra will be hurt in the ensuing battle? Like, is he saying, they're almost all fucking dead anyway, fuck Tietra? Is that what he's saying right now?
No, I don't think so.
Ram says immediately, like, what about Tietra? Dycedarg responds, I have taken measures to ensure Tietra's well-being. The attack waits upon her safe return, such time as that may require. Tietra is as a sister to me. I would never turn my back on her.
I get the impression that no one in this room believes what Dycedarg is saying.
Nobody believes what he's saying.
No one believes this shit. Are the boys inching toward radicalization even further just because they can already sense that Dycedarg is up to some shit?
I think I don't know that we can assign an energy meter to their senses that aren't vocalized through action.
Okay.
But my suspicion is it's all a setup, a false flag to kill the rest of the poor people. Of course, Dycedarg was not mortally wounded in this abduction, Chris.
Yes.
He's telling the truth, and there's an inside man getting Tietra back, is my suspicion. Or he's just lying, fuck Tietra. Dycedarg seems primed for some kind of asshole heel turn, so any of this seems possible. Fade to black. We're back outside the castle. Delita's theme plays.
Mm-hmm.
And Ramza and Delita stand outside Eagrose Castle. We appear to be picking them up in mid-conversation.
Delita is looking straight at the ground.
Yeah.
And it's just like the head bow sprite, but I can already sense that he's like the Arthur meme, you know, with the hand clasped Arthur meme. Like he's like
Arthur, the beloved children's.
Yes, yeah. Both of those hands are fully clenched. There's like
double clenched.
The nails are drawing blood on the palms and everything. Yeah. He's like so fucking mad.
Can fist anybody. Ramza asks, think matters through, Delita. Where would you even go? You must calm yourself. Delita throws his hands around. It's clear we're in the midst of another radicalization event. He tells Ramza, calm myself. My only sister is taken by cutthroats, and you would have me calm.
Taken by cutthroats.
Delita's sprite moves forward to walk away, but Ramza moves with him and says, I would have you obey reason. We know not where to begin. To search now would be fruitless. Chris, is that true?
They're narrowed down to like one base, right? Yeah. Don't we already know that?
Dycedarg just said there's only one gang of fuckers left.
Yeah, I think Ramza's full of shit right here. He's trying to just get his guy to chill because he doesn't want to upset his brother.
Yeah. Delita takes offense to the metaphor and grabs Ramza by the collar, telling him, fruitless, you speak of my sister's life.
It's like a roadhouse grab.
It is a
grab a guy by the collar and be like, what you want?
Ramza has not yet experienced the proper level of acute disillusionment, telling Delita, you heard my lord brother. He said he would not abandon her, but there's little we can do. Delita, I cannot breathe. Delita kind of wakes up. He lets go of Ramza. Ramza falls to his knees. Ramza's head bobs a little as he regains his breath and composure. And Delita seems to lower his head with a bit of shame. He asks if Ramza is all right. Our boy coughs and says he'll be fine. So Delita isn't fully radicalized yet. He's not ready to kill Ramza too to get what he wants. He's like, oh shit, dude, I'm sorry.
No, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
Like he made the action.
Argath exits out the front door and for the first time in this game says something sensible. I'd not believe a word of that fairy tale if I were you.
Oh, he says never believe in never, which what? What?
Huh?
Never believe in never. The second never is in quotes.
With fairy tale, I assumed he was talking about Dycedarg's story. But
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he just said, Dycedarg said he wouldn't abandon her. Ramza takes offense, asking Argath if he's calling his brother a liar. Argath responds like a guy who wants to get his ass kicked, telling the duo, I do. I would not go out of my way to rescue some common maid.
Common maid?
Common maid. The Final Fantasy Tactics Ye Olde English Insults Power Ranking.
I think that's an abbreviation for common maiden, but maid makes it sound slightly more sinister.
It's a gendered slur almost.
Yeah.
But it's not like as crass as maybe something else that you could say.
Yeah, it's still definitely got some stank to it. Like he's definitely saying it to be an insult.
So I'm looking here at number 7, Such Wretches, as the starting point here. Is it better or worse than Such Wretches?
I think it's worse. I would rather be called a common maid than a wretch.
Okay, so it goes lower on the ranking.
Yeah, because wretch is like gross.
Okay, what about winch?
I think it's below winch as well. Winch and wretch should be like forever tied to me.
Squealer.
Above squealer.
Okay.
Squealer is kind of like infantilizing. Maid is just a class.
All right.
Strictly class-based.
We've got 11 of them now, so we haven't read them on this episode, so let's go from the bottom. Number 11, Claude. Number 10, Squealer. Number 9, Common Maid. Number 8, Winch. Number 7, Such Wretches. Number 6, Moppets. Number 5, Whoresons. Number 4, Lackwits. Number 3, Vulgar Knave. Number 2, Common Footpad. And number 1, You've been less than we from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mother in whatever gutter saw you sired.
Well, Delita can't believe that shit, but Argath doubles down. I said he would be a fool to hold back an army for fear of spilling a few drops of your common blood. I would like Delita to slice off Argath's head right here. That does seem possible, but instead Delita calmly says, as I thought, and then slugs Argath in the face, which knocks the man down. As I thought's pretty good, dude.
He said, how dare you in mine, so yours is way better. Yeah.
Ramza grapples Delita from the back to hold his boy back and restrain further damage. Delita struggles, damns Ramza, and demands to be released. Argath's sprite then hand wipes his mouth as he doubles down. Humph, it's as I've always said, common blood, common man. You'll never be more than you were born, Delita. You don't belong in our world. You ought to be licking our boots with the rest of your ilk. Churl.
Churl?
Churl.
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 Noun, an impolite and mean-spirited person, a person of low birth, a peasant.
Okay, before I press the button, I need to read my line real quick, because it may also involve an insult. I don't know if mine makes it or not. Heh, commoners are all alike. You'll never be nobles. Delita, you don't belong here. Understand? Rascal?
Rascal? Rascal? Rascal is like what you tell your fucking shit cousin, dude.
I know, but in this context, it's funny.
Button.
The Final Fantasy Tactics Ye Olde English Insults Power Ranking.
So yours was what again?
Churl.
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 Spell that for me.
C-H-R-U-L.
C-H-U-R-L.
Churl. Okay. I really like churl. It's below moppets, right?
Churl's a word I've definitely heard. Like, I've called someone a churlish dickwad at some point in my life, so that's a word like I've actually seen
Churlish
before
dickwad.
in like adjective form, but I think it goes below moppets, if not below Claude.
So at the very bottom?
I would put it at the very bottom, because
Okay.
Claude's at least funny.
Churl. Yeah.
Now,
I think you're right.
Do you want to rank rascal? It's so inappropriate here. Yeah, you fucking rascal. You little...
We don't have to rank rascal. I just thought it was funny.
It's
like
very funny.
in that context, is it bad?
It's very bad.
An
It's
insult?
inappropriate.
Is it bad as a word choice, or is it just bad?
All of the above terrible.
Okay, so we're not putting rascal
I
in there?
don't think so.
Okay, no rascal.
So now I think Delita's definitely going to slice off Argath's head after that one. Instead, Ramza tells both of them that's enough. Well, it wasn't enough, because Argath stands, opens his arms in the I am being reasonable pose, and pleads with Ramza. Open your eyes, Ramza. Delita is not one of us. It isn't proper that you should mix with such as he. Surely you see that. Ramza, and like, Argath is like instantly ready to other whoever the fucking enemy is.
Yeah.
All the time. Ramza replies with logic and reason. Delita is my friend and a dear one. We've been as brothers all our lives. Argath instead leans into his new heel role. And that blinds you from the truth. You're a man grown, Ramza. It's time you left the playthings of your boyhood behind. You are a son of House Beolv, a birth high even among the highborn. Such company as he ill suits you. Your brothers see this, I am sure, even if you choose not to. Chris, is that true? I'm starting to believe Argath is a bigger shithead than Dycedarg or Zalbag, but I don't think that they think that.
Who thinks that? Ramza and Delita?
Yeah.
They're getting there. I mean, because he's progressing on his arc pretty quickly now.
He's accelerating.
Yes. Like he
cannot maintain this course much longer.
His ass is on fire right now. It's not going out anytime soon.
Delita finally overpowers Ramza's grasp, and he tosses Ramza aside to his left. Delita steps up to Argath and says, "Not everyone of high birth is as ill-bred as you. I'll trust to Ramza's judgment." Delita turns his back and walks away, exits the scene. Chris, was Delita the bigger man here?
I think so, because he didn't go all out.
But he did use violence, and Argath only used words.
That's true. I think Argath is probably looking for a reason for Delita to get
banned, executed, kicked out,
pushed out the paint. One of those things. Argath he's so deep into his nobility shit that he cannot even fathom why Ramza wouldn't be on his side.
Yeah, that's a good point. He cannot consist like Ramza. What? Drop the zero and get with the heroes. Dude,
yes.
What are you doing?
I don't know if he's going to have a full ass Nazi turn, but like, not only does he have nothing for the common man, but he also has nothing for those who do not use their nobility to their own advantage or do not appreciate their own nobility.
Can any of this be comparable to tailgating at the enemy team's parking lot, where it's like you can't associate people with the red jersey because our jersey is blue? How dare you talk to them? You don't need to be friends with that guy. We have our own beer.
I have 2 experiences being in parking lots of opposing teams, and they were both pretty pleasant.
Usually pretty friendly, but surely there's some fan base out there where, like, let's say someone in Philadelphia, for example, where like it's not friendly.
Well, you know what they do in Georgia, right?
Don't they sing? No, I forgot.
They bark at you.
They bark at like a dog.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, the Bulldogs.
They bark at you.
Like DMX bark at you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've not been to Georgia, but I have been to Clemson. At Clemson, they're aggressively nice.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's which is even creepier.
One guy came up to me and he said, "I don't really like either one of your coaches."
Hell yeah.
He goes, "I'm a Southern Baptist.
Uh-oh.
I don't like Rick Pitino. I don't like Bobby Petrino." This was that time.
Right, yeah. All the philandering we had in our coaching ranks.
Yeah. And I was like, great.
Well, whatever. Ramza faces Argath and hits him with harsh words. "Be gone from my sight and do not think to return." Argath tells Ramza that cuts him deep, and he thought they were friends. Argath is so deep in this shit, man. Ramza steps up, then demands, "Remove yourself, I'll not ask again." And that's like a take your ball and go home, wherever that is shit. Like, not go back inside the castle and get on my sight. Like, get the fuck out of the castle and go back to where you live.
Yes.
Okay.
Go back to the field that we left you in, or we found you in.
Argath pushes Ramza out of the way and marches out. Before he exits, he turns to say, "The brigade makes its base at Zeekden. Your lord brother told me himself. You've no hope of breaching the fortress from the fore. Their defenses are too strong. A rear assault is your only chance. Best of luck, my soft-hearted friend. You'll need it."
My soft-hearted friend.
Yeah.
In mine, he says, "Well, do your best, you spoiled, rotten boy."
Either one, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Those aren't insults, though, I don't think.
No.
There's sarcasm there, but the words themselves are not insult.
That's also more sensible than I expected, and I wonder if that advice will have a tangible role in the next battle.
And it will, as we know. And also, I wonder if he's giving them this information because he knows what they're going to witness.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a possibility.
Like, is he there to help radicalize both of them, actually? Like, he doesn't give
Dycedarg and
Argath wants to radicalize Ramza in the opposite direction.
I just thought Argath was super pilled. I didn't think that he was trying to radicalize these two boys along with them.
Well, anybody that's super pilled also wants to pill others.
Well, yeah, but like as a command decree from the grand conspiracy. I just thought he was some shithead they picked up and was like, "Yeah, you can come with us. That's cool." Ramza steps forward, tells his man to be gone. Argath throws his hands up, nods around, and exits the scene. I like that he nodded, like to take it all in one last time.
Yeah.
And got the fuck out of here.
World map. Some new routes drawn on the map. 3 of them. Red dots. Red means battle. Get ready for battle. Before we did that, I did some housekeeping.
Yeah. Keep your house, Chris. What do you got?
I made Sally a summoner. Her name is now Sally Summoner.
Sally Struthers.
Sally Summoner. So we'll talk about some summons a little bit later in the game. She's a summoner / white mage now. She brought along her white mage abilities. So I'm ready to proceed to the Mondalia Plains.
When I select Magic City of Garland, I get something exclusive to the PSP War of the Lions version that's called an animated cutscene.
Yes, and to be clear, in the PlayStation version, when you select that city, when you walk through the Mondalia Plains, a cutscene occurs in the Mondalia Plains.
A screaming bird flies overhead against an orange dusk sky. Delita is seated against some rubble and barely there foundation of a long-gone building. Ramza approaches him, and Delita greets Ramza with,
It's beautiful, isn't it? Do you think Titra might be watching this same sunset?
Chris, is there a more teenager thought than to wonder if your crush is watching the same sunset? And by crush, I mean sister. Someone you care about. We all watch the same sun, man. You ever think about that shit? I did.
I don't think that's an exclusively a teenager thing.
I think it is predisposed to teenagers. I think anyone can have that thought, but I think that's one of the first things you reach for in human longingness.
Let me add one more group of people to teenagers then. High people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either those rich in sentimentality or marijuana.
Yes.
Ramza, who is drawn here with extremely large hands, comforts his bro.
Don't worry, Delita. I'm sure she is well.
Delita then confesses that there has been something bothering him for a long time now. Chris, Delita has indeed suffered psychic damage from his battlefield observations.
Yeah.
Ramza has not, which is why he asks if it's about that shit Argath just said. But Delita counters.
There are things beyond the power of our changing, Ramza. Try though we might.
Ramza, though, isn't trying. He's not getting it. He tells Delita,
do not say that. If a thing can be endeavored, it will endeavor. Grant me an army. I would save Titra with these hands, if aught were in my power to do. But I cannot. 'Tis my meager lot in this life.
Chris, he said the title of the chapter, he wins the chapter. The meager.
Oh, good job, Delita. And he just calls himself useless. So there, in my version, so there's not the congruency is not there for the meager and the meager. But he is getting into the mentality here of fate and blame yourself or God.
A little bit. I think when he squeezes his hand and says he can't, I think he's saying violence is going to be the only solution to this problem, but on a larger scale than he can conduct alone.
Delita is being very anti-bootstrap right here. Because Ramza is trying to say, well, if you work hard enough at it, we can figure this out. But Delita is...
He knows somebody has to help pick that kid up.
He knows that he's in a corner right now that he cannot get out of because of who he is and who he's not.
It cuts to a wide angle shot of our boy standing in the sunset and it starts to rain. Or maybe the wind just blows harder, I can't tell. It cuts to a shot of the palm of Delita's hand open as it hangs there for 4 or 5 seconds. Delita removes his hand from the frame and a flower is left to fill the empty space. Delita then plucks a blade of grass and asks,
do you remember, Ramza? When your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass.
Delita then whistles the grass. Ramza slowly plucks his own blade of grass and returns the whistle.
The reed whistle is pleasant in the PSP cutscene, but excruciating in the original PS1 version. I have interrupted the former to bring you the latter in 9 seconds.
We fade out with an overhead shot, presumably from the large bird's point of view we came into this scene with.
Cool. So they called it a reed flute.
I like reed flute better. It's better than whistling grass.
Yeah. This entire cutscene takes place obviously with the in-game sprites where they are both sitting in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the waiting scene in Suikoden 2 when everybody's
waiting for Joey to get back.
Yeah, I mean it's not the same circumstances, but it has that same sort of wistfulness also with the sun setting and things like that, where it's like
everything's going to change soon.
Yes, an early game kind of table setting where characters are out there having some emotions.
It's like 20 hours into Suikoden 2.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Back on top in the world map, some new rumors at the bar if you want to read some of those.
I would like to know what the rumors are, Chris. Tell me your most hottest gossip.
My most hottest gossip, play the bar music, please, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
pub music. Some of these are long-winded, so I just highlighted some important information from each
Chris's
one.
rumor edits.
Chris's rumor edits now on Retrograde Amnesia. The first one is called The Condition of Amdoria. Amdoria is the king, also known as King Amdolia.
Don't believe Andor's lies.
Yes. With an official guardian for the prince yet to be named, the queen is certain to clash with the elder statesman over his guardianship. So this is talking about how the prince, Orneus, his birthday is about to come up, and the king's about to die, and the scuffle over who the regent will be has begun. The next one is the destruction of the Death Corps. It was revealed that the main group in the Death Corps of the Thieves, that's what it says, were close to annihilation due to the joint effort by 4 groups of the Knights. According to official reports, the total number of thieves apprehended by the plan ended up approximately to be 700, and the death toll was approximately 3,000.
Jesus.
Wiegrath, the leader of the Death Corps, is yet to be apprehended, but the Hokoten stated that it's just a matter of time. Also, the other rumor is the attempted murder of Lord Dycedarg.
I think I know something about that.
Yeah, we already talked about this, so the highlighted line here is, an assault on a high official occurred at the mansion of the well-known and respected Beleuve family. The target seems to have been Prince Larg's assistant Dycedarg. Unfortunately, the assassination attempt was unsuccessful. That's it. That's all the hot rumors.
That's all. Well, next, let's go to Lenalian Plateau.
Yep.
Music Pursuit plays, and we open with a battle. It looks like what's left of the Corpse Brigade and their green capes is gathered around a hilly grass terrain in the wilderness.
Eric, that's 2 black mages, a time mage, and about 3 knights.
Yeah, the Corpse Brigade.
Yeah, we're here, and this area looks like the Green Hill Zone of Final Fantasy Tactics.
I reject that thesis immediately. There are no palm trees. There are no geometric tree leaves. There are no rolling orange checkerball fucking balls.
Well, as the Sonic expert on this podcast, you are. I yield.
Thank you.
I brought Ramza, Lester, Horn, Cindy, and Sally.
I've got the new metal trio and Ramza.
Yep.
Milleuda is here, and she speaks first. They guard this way as well. No route is left to us out of these highlands. So they met us here. We didn't meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Pursuit is definitely the saddest battle music, so you know we're about to do some shit.
You mean we're just going to be murdering?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we always murder in battle, but this time's going to mean something.
Yeah.
One of Milleuda's knights immediately suggests surrendering. Reaffirming her beliefs from our last encounter, Milleuda denies this request. She is all in. If I'm to die, I'd sooner do it swinging a sword than swinging from the gallows. I'll not be led away in chains.
Fighting is the only way out.
That's right. Delita has a different set of questions. She's here for the rescue and not the slaughter. Where is Wiegrath? What have you done with Tietra? Milleuda's like, who the hell is that? Is that the girl Bragaroth took hostage? Delita responds, Tietra is my sister, no more a Beowulf than you. Please, she's of no value as a hostage. Return her, I beg you. I do like how Delita's birth and status allows him to plausibly walk in both worlds here. Like, he has some credibility and he's playing that card.
Yeah.
Milleuda, and I don't know why I keep expecting her to be sympathetic, but Milleuda responds by cutting her own promo. As you nobles return what you take from us, our lives, our dignity, and all else that you have claimed as your own, we ask nothing more than that you return to us what is ours by right, but you deny us even that. You take and take until there is naught left. Save your highborn breath. Your words are wind, and no amount of howling will see your sister free.
Beautiful.
Chris, I associate Words Are Wind with Song of Ice and Fire and George Railroad Martin, but it seems to have its origins through the works of some guy called Shakespeare.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah, Bill Shaky.
Billy Shakes.
Bill Nighy.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Delita is knocked off guard by this fucking shit. He fumbles his words and denies that that's what he is, and oops, it's time to do a battle.
Wow. So that's interesting. That conversation in the PlayStation version takes place during the battle. Like on
oh, really? Like
yeah.
In between stuff?
Yeah, I think on Delita's first turn it occurs.
I think she actually, like, psyched out Delita.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Is this meter feeling right here? It's like, I feel like she plays a big part in this.
I don't think so, because my next note is I thought Delita would just, like, refuse to fight here, be a pacifist, but he opens the battle and immediately throws a rock into Milleuda's face. He then levels up and celebrates, so I don't think a meter was filled at that at all.
Okay, good.
You know how they cheer when they level
Good.
up? Delita did that after he hit her with a rock.
Yes. Battle start, conditions for winning, defeat Milleuda.
Battle commence. Oh, neat, they have a time mage. What's that? My next, what is that going to do to me?
Mostly slow, haste, that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I got pretty aggressive for the beginning of this battle. I was pretty highly leveled. Lester was able to steal the heart of a lady knight, which charmed...
I'm sorry, what?
Steal the heart. It's a thief skill. Steal heart. We talked about it in the last episode.
Yeah.
And it charmed the lady, and I just now have a knight on my team for like 5 turns.
A semi-charmed kind of life.
She just beats the shit out of her own people for a while. It was good.
Shit-beating knights.
I've had a success with that skill on almost every battle since. I've got some more dialogue during the battle.
I got a whole lot of dialogue.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot.
My early note before the dialogue is Milleuda has killed Delita on her 3rd turn.
Yeah.
Early in the battle, Ramza asks Milleuda why she fights, what they did, and what fuels her hatred. She replies, "Is it enough that you can stand before me in ignorance of the misdeeds done to us? You may not see the world beyond your high walls, but that does not mean they mark its boundaries. It may be well that you've done no wrong. It is your place in the world that drives my hatred on. You bear the name Beowulf, and that name is my enemy."
So as long as you still maintain your Amazon Prime subscription, you're still culpable for some of the evil in this world.
That's correct.
Okay. In my game, Ramza said, you say revolution. Is a revolution necessary? Is it our fault? Are we making you suffer? What's the problem? And I felt like Ramza stepped back right there in his radicalization, where he's like,
I'm just a guy.
He's depleting his meter there a little bit because he's like, my consumption is ethical.
Yes.
He's gone from abolish to defund in 36 hours. He's he's taken a couple steps back real quick.
But he's also got his sword at her throat saying, I'm doing the right thing.
Well, in my case, he's got his fucking fist, which is even more violent, I think.
Back to the battle. Fuck, they keep killing my guy. My black mage is out of MP. How do I use ether? Fuck me, I forgot to add the item thing to him. Time mage keeps casting slow. I hate this shit.
You're not rocking with a lot of magic here?
I've kind of decided to step away from magic in this game.
Oh, really? I did discover, and thanks to the real net, that if you're about to cast a spell, you can press left or right on the menu, and it will show you the turn order.
Oh, good.
That way you can determine whether or not one of your enemies, your targets, is going to move to where you would do some bad collateral damage or what have you. So that's made my adventures in magery pretty positive.
Yeah, we'll write a banner on my forehead that says fuck all magic. How about that?
Okay, that's fine.
Near the end of the battle, after I fry Milleuda with lightning bolts and set her on fire, she takes a knee and vows not to fall, as the struggle is not yet won. I am a soldier of the Corpse Brigade, and I will not turn and run. Ramza asks Milleuda to please stop fighting. The battle is lost. Sheath your blade and let us talk. Surely we can find some common ground. I will speak to my brother, even Duke Larg himself. You must trust me. And I feel like you can really sense the desperation in Ramza's pleas here. All this is spiraling out of and beyond his control, and he's trying to exert some control over it. I can talk to my dad. He can fix it. You won't get expelled.
Yeah, he's not just trying to smooth out the situation, but he's also rationalizing things in his head right now.
Yep. Yeah. Milleuda counters, false words sound ever sweet, but they are a siren song. I've heard my share of noble lies, I'll hear no more.
Well, Eric, I would say that a siren song sounds a lot smoother than no more tricky smooth talk.
Fuck. Fucking your tricky smooth talk, Chris.
Can't help it.
Chris, are we about to be the ones who kill Odessa Silverberg?
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah. That's a character in Suikoden, getting here season 4, who was killed by the bad guys once she joined our team.
Season 5.
Also, Chris, what is the most noble lie you've ever heard?
The most noble lie?
Yeah, Milleuda's heard her share of noble lies, and she'll hear no more.
The most noble lie that I've heard was that I'm thinking, I was about to say the food pyramid, but I don't think that was noble at all.
Yeah, that had a lot of big whatever stuff behind it to construct and to make us eat corn and grains and
maybe something to do with the fluoride in the water.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, are you pro fluoride or anti?
Yeah, I'm pro fluoride.
I'm pro fluoride too. It's the reason why I don't have any cavities. All I drink is tap water.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Any more in battle dialogue? I have one more.
Yeah. Ramza has no idea how far and how hard these people have been pushed. Nevertheless, Ramza tells Milleuda that his words are not false. Then Milleuda and Ramza trade blows until Milleuda falls. It's no different from any other attack in this game, really, but the violence of this exchange was very effective on me, the player. I was like, wait, shit, no, stop hitting each other.
I don't think that happened in mine. At one point during one of Milleuda's turns, she said, I can't die now. Not during the revolution. And that's all she said. But in me personally, I said, we won't let you die yet because we are farming your associates for JP right now. So please stay alive for the moment.
Stay alive for a little bit.
I didn't know that non-spells have incantation or battle cries as well. So Ramza casted Wave Fist, which is the ranged fist move that you can use for a monk. I don't know.
Oh, the Calamity.
Sure, why not? And he says, Burning Anger Rising, Burst, Wave Fist.
I
killed Milleuda.
The answer. Right.
Milleuda's dead, or sort of.
Finally, I, as Ramza, move behind Milleuda and stab her in the back. Then she speaks, lying face down. She begs for forgiveness from her brother, and then lets loose a death rattle before collapsing fully. Ramza falls to one knee and wonders why it must end like this. Delita moves on to have his own existential crisis, asking the world, what am I doing? What have I become? I genuinely thought our boys would join Milleuda before they killed her.
Really? Cool. Yeah.
I thought she was going to recruit us into whatever their fucking plot is, and we would become the Corpse Brigade.
That is cool that you thought that.
It's precious.
In my game, Delita says, damn it, who the hell am I? Congratulations, the battle is complete.
This is the first time the victory music really made me laugh, because this is a harrowing event, and I'm like, oh, are we going to celebrate here? What?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're celebrating with the music as we pull 1,000 gil, a silk robe, and battle boots off the corpses of the Corpse Brigade.
I wondered if El Nino and Godsmack are looking at each other like, Oh, this shit's fucked up. What do we sign up for?
Yep.
Fuck. How do we get out of this shit? Okay, so we've killed the only person worth a shit in this game so far.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think that Weegraf is worth a shit.
A little bit.
I mean,
I'm sure we'll kill him eventually for no reason.
Point.
Yeah. World map. Okay, let's go to Fovoham Windflats.
Windflats?
Yes.
What do you think mine says?
Pancake house.
Plains. Fovoham Plains.
I made Godsmack into a white mage. I need to have El Nino and Cornus Chemist to get that auto potion shit going on. It's going to save me. I just know it.
Yeah, I've heard auto potion is good. I probably should get that.
Fovoham Windflats, Windflat Mill. Music, I don't know, but it sounds like Requiem or Espionage, and neither is quite it, and it's driving me crazy.
I used the internet and my telephone to identify music, and it's called Cry of Pain.
Okay, Cry of Pain. That is a song I recognize.
And also we have grinding noises.
Yes, I have that captured as well.
Cool.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway, that's frustrating, but we're in some kind of mill where Weegraf is chilling with his boys. Tietra is here, tied up next to a stack of crates. Her head is knotted down like she's either tired, downtrodden, dead, or asleep.
There's an archer posted up on some boxes, and I think Gorgoroth is also here as well. Yeah.
This is definitely like some dudes hanging out in like a fucking base type thing.
Well, no, this is like the meeting spot after your first base gets fucked.
Yeah, totally. This is like the second location.
I'm glad they did this and didn't just put him in a field or something. It's a nice touch.
They're in a mill.
Fucking polygon mill spinning around.
Weegraf is wondering why these fools have kidnapped the girl.
Yeah, this was not part of the goddamn...
Like, oh, what'd you all do? God damn it, fuck. Gragaroth lies, I think, telling Weegraf that they had to take a hostage and there was no other way to escape. Chris, is that true? I can see it. They had Tietra and Alma.
Yeah.
So...
It didn't work, but...
No. Well,
he could have escaped without her. But he may have thought in that moment...
Maybe he had a knife to her throat as he was backing up from... Whichever one.
Maybe that's what held Zalbag off.
Yeah.
Huh.
Weegraf, irritated, asked Gragaroth why he did not release her once they had escaped. Do not tell me even this madness has taken you.
So, Weegraf is out here trying to lead a goddamn peasant revolution, but his subordinates are just...
An ethical peasant revolution.
Yes, ethicalpeasantrevolutions.com. But his subordinates here are just a bunch of lackeys who fail to see the bigger picture.
They just keep doing sinister shit.
Like, there are so many just, like, cutthroat knaves that are sprinkled across the corpse brigade because they had nowhere else to go, that they fail to see what the politics are here.
Also, even if you fight honorably against the nobility, I don't think that's going to win you any battles.
No, not really. Not unless you actually win and kill them all.
Gragaroth responds with a lengthy explanation. I am no Gustav, if that is your fear. Think, Weegraf, we've lost the greater part of our number, and the Northern Order draws upon us from all sides. She is of Beelf blood. 100 swords, 1,000 could not buy our freedom with such ease.
So Gustav was he was the unprincipled member and also the plant, right?
We believe so, yes.
He's the Facebook ad purchased by a foreign agent to sow dissent.
Having not looked at Facebook since
I'm talking about
5 years, I don't know.
Well, 5 years ago is when the Facebook ads were being purchased by foreign agents.
Weegraf responds to the zone diatribe. So we fly. What then? Know you some happy haven in which we may be a light? If we flee, they win once more, as they have always won. We must make for our children a fairer future than the past you and I have known. They must not suffer as we do. The stone we cast might raise only the smallest of waves, but see how they crash upon the shore, waves rich with our blood.
Ooh, wow.
So basically, I think he's saying, we have to stop doing this violent shit, we're pissing too many people off, and what we're currently doing is not going to get us anywhere. Or go in on violence and they'll see our blood in the waves and be inspired.
Yes, I think that's what it is. Yes.
Gragaroth flips his cape around and turns around, asking Weegraf if he's ordering them to their deaths. Weegraf responds with principle, and a statement that should be widely recognized as hard as fuck.
Okay.
If by our deaths a single drop of noble blood should water the earth, they shall not be in vain.
Oh, that's great.
It's good.
In the PlayStation version, he says, take as many nobles with you as possible.
That's still all right.
Which gets to the point, but is not as flowery as that.
I wrote his name wrong, is Gorgrath, has a different opinion. Foolishness, the only blood the earth will drink will be our own. Weegraf shakes his head, then suggests that joining up with the rest of their guys at Zeekden, then combine forces to strike. Goragroth, who I've just written in 5 different ways, Gorg wonders what would happen if those guys are already dead. And that's a rich discussion, fuck man,
Yeah.
But then some guy runs in and tells Weegraf something that we don't hear what it is, but we hear Weegraf's reaction.
By some guy, you mean a female monk?
Yeah, some guy.
Yeah.
Milleuda, slain. Impossible. Chris, the impossible is possible tonight.
Yes. It is. Never say never. Or no, never trust a never.
Yes.
Never.
Never.
Never believe in never.
The messenger goes on to tell Wheatgraf that the fuckers who killed her, which is us, are on their way here. They wonder what we should do. Wheatgraf responds, "We quit this place at once. We shall make for our fastness at Zeekden. The girl will be left here, Graggoroth."
Damn.
But I think it's too late because the lookout tells him, "The northern sky is upon us. They attack." Wheatgraf declares that he'll hold them back, which that's us, off here. He commands Graggoroth to make for Zeekden, not Zanarkand.
Okay.
Wheatgraf exits the scene. Graggoroth declares that he will run, but he will not die. Graggoroth turns to face his boys, maybe Tietra, and then we fade to black.
I think he's looking at Teta because he's like, Tietra, because she's his way out. He's a punk-ass bitch.
He's not going to leave her
He's
here.
just taking her because he needs her to escape.
Yeah, like that look that he gives her is like, that we're gonna collect her.
Yeah.
He's already proven once that he'll make the wrong choice.
Yeah. Next battle. Choose your combatants. I'm taking Ramza, Hornst, Lester, and of course, good old Sally Summoner.
Got the new metal trio.
Yep.
Anti-pyretic plays. We open on the spinning blades of a huge windmill. The camera rotates around to find Wheatgraf and some corpse brigaders exiting the door to meet our party of heroes or villains who want to be heroes, whatever the fuck it is we are.
I love how the camera swirls around the windmill in this. It looks
pretty good.
It looks really good, especially paired with the music.
Wheatgraf opens with a narrative banger. "Your faces are known to me, but I did not know that you would one day kill my sister.
Damn.
Milleuda deserved a better death. They did not even send proper knights to kill her." Chris, I love it. Feeling slighted at the wrong group of assholes killing your sister.
Yeah. She wasn't slain by Zalbag or somebody of repute. It was just these assholes.
Chris, would you prefer to be killed by a formidable foe fighting for the government or some group of highborn protagonistic dipshits undergoing a morality crisis? Like, would you be upset if your death isn't even their final radicalization event?
As long as my death was on their
Filled the
path.
meter?
On their yes, as long as it filled the meter.
It's a memorable one. It's not like all the other idiots they've slaughtered so far.
Yes. It's not like when they killed Junk and Cindy.
Yes. JNS. Ramza realizes what they've done and he apologizes. Wheatgraf seemed to have his shit together before, but now he completely loses it. Chris, we cannot stop ultra-radicalizing members of the Corpse Brigade.
No, can't.
He says, "I will not flee before her murderers. I'll avenge Milleuda's death or I'll die in trying." Battle commence. Objective, defeat Wheatgraf.
Yes, we marched forth. I got pretty aggressive again and opened up with a little bit of a wave fisting. And of course, I sent Lester up around the mountain a little bit and had her steal the heart of that lady monk, so I had some extra ass beaters on my side this time. Do you have some dialogue during the battle?
That's what pissed me off because the battle opened with, "I'll avenge Milleuda's death or die trying," and then battle commence objective, but then there's just more dialogue right away. Like, I didn't have to fight anybody before it got more.
I think it depends on like when that person's turn comes up.
I mean, but this was like right after objective defeat Wheatgraf.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Delita chooses his demand. "My sister Tietra, you will set her free." And technically, this is very stupid because it tips Wheatgraf off that Delita is a Beelv. And technically, he's not, but Ramza is. And he's also stupid because he makes this point of clarification with Wheatgraf. Wait, never mind.
Yes.
It's inflicting psychic damage on Wheatgraf as he realizes Graggoroth fucked up and didn't abduct a high-caliber hostage. Wheatgraf wants to know if she actually has some kind of connection with House Beelv. Because, like, Wheatgraf thinks that Tietra is a Beelv.
Yes.
But when Delita says, "That's my sister," and he knows Delita's not, it's like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ramza wonders why any of this matters. And Wheatgraf responds, "It matters not. There was no question as to her release. We make not a habit of holding hostages, but first we've a score to settle. You will set her free if you live to see aught at all." So that's a weird place for Wheatgraf. Like, we're going to set her free because we took her. But since you all are here to get her back, which we did, I have to kill you. And you killed my sister. Ixo fact, like, what is his ideology consistent here?
Yes. His people should not have kidnapped Tietra. So he is going to right that wrong.
Okay.
But he's also going to right the wrong of avenging his sister.
Right. Who wanted to die in space.
Yes. In your video game, did you note what Wheatgraf's character class is?
Wheatgraf.
He's a white knight.
Ooh.
Yes. He also has a move called Crush Punch.
That's nice. I think I've got Northwind Strike.
Northwind Strike sounds more appropriate for a white knight, but Crush Punch sounds cooler.
Crush Punch does sound cooler. That strike...
It's not a punch.
It killed Delita with a magic sword attack in one hit. Awesome, thanks.
Yes. Yeah, in my case, Hornst got the shit knocked out of him by Wheatgraf, and after I kind of got him revived and cured up, I let Hornst go ahead and roll deep, and I broke Wheatgraph's sword.
Oh, good. That's nice. Rend. You rended his sword.
I rended his sword.
This map has stairs in the center of it, and my guys all got log jam trying to get up there.
Yeah.
I miss on a chocobo swing. It peck, there's a chocobo that I'm attacking, and it peck kills Godsmack, then retreats up the stairs and heals itself completely.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when my healer dies and I forget to assign the item command to anyone else and I can't revive or heal anyone for shit and have to restart the battle.
I do that every battle. It's okay.
Okay.
I only have a white mage. I have nobody with items right now.
Got another mid-battle dialogue scene here.
Yeah.
Ramza asks Wheatgraph what good more deaths will serve, and I, the player, also want to know why the fighting must continue.
Mm-hmm.
Wheatgraph asks him what good the death of his sister served. Ramza tells Wheatgraph he didn't set out to do that, and they don't even have to keep resorting to violence. They can treat with each other instead. Wheatgraph responds, "You see it not, the reason we hold fast to our steel. What advantage might I hope to enjoy at the treaty table? And who would set a seat for me there? You? Even if it were in your power, your brothers would never heed any agreement we might reach." He's fucking got Ramza's number, Chris.
He's got him.
Ramza defends his family. "My brothers do not want this fight. Set down your sword, Wheatgraph, and my brothers will treat with you."
He says, "You're saying my brothers like to make battle?"
God damn it. It's like Ramza has no formal education. Wheatgraph responds, "Ha! No spoony bard could spin a sweeter tale."
Oh, okay. That's a deliberate reference.
It's a self-aware reference.
Yes.
"You say your brothers do not want this fight. Tears then, for the world you see is one beyond my weary sight."
Beautiful.
Spoony Bard is, of course, what, Final Fantasy 2, 4?
Yes, that is what Tella called Edward that. Is that going to go on the insult ranking?
Oh, I don't think so. Spoony Bard is it's more of a meme. It wasn't even a meme then.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in favor of keeping that off.
Ramza, the sweet idiot, retorts, "You would have me believe my brothers plot at war?" Wheatgraph responds, "Callow child, the hand that guides history's reins are ever black with blood. Think you Dycedarg's hand more just? A new justice is born and dies on the lips of each man who would pronounce it."
Wow.
All-time bangers. So, let's see. Ramza and El Nino are my only living people, and the counter's reaching 0 for Godsmack and Korn. But Chris, just after lighting this man on fire several times, he takes a knee, tells me I fight well, and calls me a boy. He also takes the coward's way out, telling Milleuda that he can't lay his life down for this shit just yet.
Exactly. Yep. I had a good time killing Wheatgraph as well because he had no sword and I had him backed all the way into a corner.
Oh, okay, so he couldn't leave either.
And I just stood there and threw rocks at him and hit him with like my mage's sticks and stuff just to farm JP off of his
That's
corpse.
good. Just keep hitting him.
Yeah, because he was only doing like 12 damage to anybody.
I love you've got like the leader corner. Your weakest guys are just beating him with sticks.
Yes. Throwing rocks, because I think I had at least one character that had squire skills.
That really is just the nobility fucking with the poor people, right? Like, yeah, hit this guy with sticks until he's dead.
Yeah, that was canonically appropriate, actually.
Ramza begs Wheatgraph to wait, and Wheatgraph responds by dropping a bomb on Ramza. "Who do you think sent Gustav to kidnap Marquis Elmdor? It was none other than your lord brother, Dycedarg, with Lord Zalbag's approval, to be sure." Chris, this is a bomb for everyone but Ramza. Or Ramza, but Ramza's the only person who's this is a bomb for.
Yes,
what I meant to say there.
I got you.
Well, of course, Ramza can't believe that shit, and Wheatgraph tells him some more. "The lions vie for power in the void left by the king's death. I speak, of course, of Larg, the white lion, and Goltana, the black. Each hopes to learn who may be counted as a friend and who is a foe. But such things are so easily read. Easier rid yourself of those whose loyalty is uncertain, and install others to rule in their stead. I fear Gustav, fool that he was, tired of our rebellion and was taken in by the silver tongue of your dear brother, Dycedarg." Chris, is this Ramza's personal 9/11 was an inside job moment?
It is, yeah. Like he says lies. I don't believe this.
Yes, he says he can't believe this. Like, none of his shithead brothers could be this craven.
But I think he does.
Yeah, a seed was planted there.
Yes.
Wheatgraph doesn't care to explain more, telling Ramza, "Do not take my word for it. Judge their actions for yourself. Farewell, young Beowulf." And then he raises his hands and teleports away. People in this fucking game can do that.
That is the exact same animation that you can get from the move skill from Time Mage of Teleport. Because there is a move skill called Teleport that you can get for, I think, like 300 or 400 JP as a Time Mage, and it changes all of your movement. You can teleport anywhere on the map, but the further away you teleport,
the less it fucking works.
The less it fucking works.
The less it fucking works.
Yeah, it has never worked when I need it to.
It doesn't always work, but I always make sure that I'm playing the percentages as best I can. Like, I'm always making short tellies.
Ramza no-sells the terrifying implications of what's been revealed, instead damning Wiegraf for shitting all over his good name and running away. The battle is won appears over the screen with victory music, which is again hilarious under the current circumstances.
War trophies. High potion. That's it.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. Inside the windmill.
Delita's theme plays. Delita realizes Tietra is not here and can't believe that shit. Ramza believes Delita has
By Delita, Eric means Tietra.
been taken to Zeekton, the den of the Zeeks, and that we need to head over there. The disillusionment of Delita continues as he looks at Ramza and asks, why? Why is this happening? Chris, is this ever a question you stop and ask when the world deals you a bad hand?
Yeah. Yeah. When my kid will, tell me I'm the worst parent to ever exist. I'm like, why is this happening?
Yeah, because you're the worst parent to ever exist.
Yeah, I guess so.
Chris, it's all chaos. What matters more is how you deal with it.
I'm sorry I made you eat dinner at 6:15 instead of 6:30. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Kids can even fucking tell time. That's news.
Yeah. My kid has a Garmin.
Ramza tells Delita he's sorry, and the camera pans up before it fades to black. Delita never gets up off of his knees. Which I think is a very kind of interesting moment that it fades to black without Delita resetting back to the default.
He's lost control of himself, and I think he knows whose fault it is, right? He's starting to...
He's putting it together. He heard that it was your fucking brother's shit.
Yeah, he knows that his association with this family is what's leading to this, and he knows that everything is their fault. And although Ramza isn't explicitly involved, but this is the whole thing where he's entwined with destiny, the blame yourself or God mentality. Like, he was born into this family. Sorry, but you need to be killed.
Yeah. It's the only option. Kill them all.
We must eat the rich. And there's no, there ain't no snacks.
Bloody excrement.
B.E. Shall we consult the RealNet?
Always.
Initializing RealNet.
Hi, RealNet. Are you still awake? I am. Barely. TC says, Chris is wearing a Tyler Childers shirt. Shout out TC. Tyler Childers, TC. TC also says, if FakeNet was voiced by Katie Seagal, I would follow her every command.
We'll see what's in the budget to get Katie Seagal on the...
Porks was talking about our genre discussion and says the shoot 'em up should be called Sexy Parodius Alikes.
I like that.
Yeah. Rim Lezar says R-Types. It's a good one.
Also good.
Yeah.
There's a PS1 compilation of 2 R-Type games called R-Types.
Mm-hmm. Shy Guy 32 says a score is 20.
Okay, 4. Yeah, got
87 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Squeak Chan says Argath is infinitely punchable.
You can't beat him bloody. He doesn't take damage. You can keep punching him.
Yeah. Eric Fernandez says Argath means maid as in the job, not maiden, when we talked about common maid. Ramza's dad adopted Delita and Teta, but Argath can only see them as servants. And that's why he's calling him a common maid.
That still tracks.
Eric Fernandez says, good bit from Argath, but it's very funny he takes baiting of Delita as proof of Delita's low-born nature, when if he did the same thing to Zalbag or Dycedarg, they would have beaten him.
They would have cut his head off.
Yeah. So Argath, because Delita is reacting emotionally, that's part of his low-born blood or something like that. His traits.
Only the uneducated and lowborn can become feral.
Rim Lezar says, reading the insult list is going to take 10 minutes by the end of the season.
Sure.
I was wondering if the list was going to be front-loaded and we were going to get any new interesting insults later in the game.
Having played deeper in the game, yeah, they kind of level off with this shit.
Jesse says Argath seems like a just asking questions kind of douchebag.
A little bit, yeah. Just hey, man, I'm just pointing out what we all know is an obvious truth, right?
Yeah. TC says, I'm in Georgia, but I don't claim Georgia sports. Go Dogs.
I kind of like the Braves growing up because they had the same kind of thing as the Cubs where they were always on
TBS. Yeah. That is why there are Braves fans in Kentucky.
I was a Chipper Jones fan for a long time, which I now regret.
Pork said, why is he fucked up?
Oh, he's fucked up.
Worse than Pete Rose? There was some new shit about Pete Rose that was written.
I don't know any
book.
new shit about. I just know about denying gambling, never on my own team. Like Pete Rose is old school fucked up. Chipper.
No, Pete Rose, 14-year-olds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was also that kind of fucked up.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There was a new book that came out.
Is he dead?
No.
Okay.
Pork says Sally Summoner summoned Shiva from the seashore.
Nice.
Very good. Eric Fernandez says Milleuda is 100% right that if they surrendered, they'd be put to death anyway.
Correct. She's correct.
I don't know what TC is referring to, but says it's even older than Shakespeare. It's biblical. Job 6:26. Do you mean to correct what I say and treat my desperate words as wind?
Words are wind, yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
Shakespeare was as far back as I could go on the origins of that, but I totally believe it was in some kind of scripture as well.
Yeah. TC says El Nino and Godsmack are wondering if Taproot will show up.
Goddamn Taproot. Poem?
Not familiar.
They sing Poem.
Don't know that.
What else did Taproot sing? I can name one Taproot song.
Eric Fernand says, WeGraph is just constantly trying to de-escalate the situation and understanding the optics of their situation. Not because releasing Tietra is going to spare their lives, but because it will put the people against them. Yeah, WeGraph is the ultimate room reader. Like, he understands what the...
He knows what time it is.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say he's good at PR, but knowing what time it is better. I heard somebody use that term, knows what time it is.
WeGraph has an excellent command of what needs to be done, but doesn't have sufficient personnel to execute.
Yeah, his subordinates are shit.
He made some bad hires.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is pulling from, like, people that are desperate.
Common footpads.
He's pulling from common footpads. All right, thank you, RealNet, for joining us tonight. We'll see you on the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia Season 6, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions for the PlayStation Portable. This episode was recorded on April 24th as a production of Retrograde Amnesia. Thank you, Mark
Shepard,
for the intro music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Thank you, WorldSyn, for the podcast artwork. You can find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/RetroAM and get other stuff like bonus episodes about, God Hand or Terranigma or Parasite Eve or Final Fantasy The Spirits Within.
No, Doc. No drugs.
Captain, you heard the man.
All kinds of good stuff. Until next time, Eric.
Fantasy becomes reality, 2001.
And now, you may go back to sleep. What was the cop doing there? Or was just a cop?
It was a cop in uniform just there.
Just there shopping.
Yeah, he wasn't there to do cop shit. He was just fucking buying Slim Jims or whatever.
That's the first thing that a cop would do when he comes into a store. Buy some Slim Jims and shit.
Ramza approaches him, and Delita greeps Ramza. Windflat Mill. We come back, and we're inside the
the windmill.
Wherever the hell we are, Delita.
Ramza isn't implicitly involved or explicitly involved. Ramza isn't explicitly involved. Ramza isn't explicitly involved. My kid has a Garmin.
Fuck. I have no idea what dealing with that's like. Heart softening theme plays.
Yes.
I think when he squeezes his hand and he says he cannot, I don't know if that's supposed to be read as violence is not going to be, or no.
Busted.
Playtime!